Welcome to the SubSummit podcast. Real conversations with the operators scaling subscription, membership, and recurring revenue in today's commerce landscape.
Welcome back to the podcast, the SubSummit podcast, where the leaders shaping the future of subscription, membership, and recurring revenue meet at the crossroads of commerce. Let's get to our guest. Mike Woodall is the Director of CRM and Subscriptions at Whisker, where he focuses on customer retention, subscriber growth, and building stronger relationships with pet owners through data-driven marketing and engagement strategies. Whisker is a pet technology company best known for the Litter Robot, a popular self-cleaning litter box and other smart products that automate pet care and provide insights into pets' health and behavior. I'm excited to chat with you. Mike, thanks for being here on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kevin, or Doug.
All right, let's talk about this. So what brands do you think are getting subscriptions right now? Who's really getting it, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say one of my favorite ones, partly because I'm a user of it, is Chewy. I specifically like them for the flexibility and control of their program. So just from their subscription management interface, you know, as someone who is constantly having to change when I get dog food for my dog at home, it is a pain because I either have way too much or way too little, and it just doesn't work. And so having a lot of flexibility there is really important to me. And I think that's where Chewy does it right compared to a lot of other ones. You know, if we look at other large brands like Amazon, their subscription management is much more tedious compared to someone like Chewy. Other ones that I really like right now is Go Floss, which is a kind of more of a niche one. They're a floss brand that sells these kind of vibrating flossers similar to like electric toothbrush, but for flossing. I really like their product as someone who needs a routine around flossing. It's helpful that I have basically a daily consumable that I'm going through. And so I think from just a product perspective, I really like them as a subscription service. And then one third one I'll mention, I also really like the TV streaming service Dropout. They're kind of a niche streaming service for some improv actors, things like that. But one thing I really like that they did recently that you don't see from many streaming services is they've grandfathered in pricing on their digital streaming service, where people that signed up with them have retained their low price point, even though prices have gone up for new people coming on board. I think that's really an interesting approach that I think some of these larger streaming services could learn from, as we see, you know, probably more and more churn comes with those price increases.
Interesting. So flexibility, products, unique products, and pricing, three really interesting things in the subscription world right now. What data points is Whisker using to attract and retain subscribers that other companies might be overlooking or might come easy for you, but maybe more challenging for others that have a subscription-based program?
Yeah, I think we benefit a lot from having a captured audience. You know, when someone comes and buys a Litter Robot, which is going to be the first product that they purchase from us, we capture them in the Whisker app, and that's where they're engaging with the Litter Robot. It's where they're learning everything about their cats, the activity that their cats have with our robots, as well as all of the information that's coming around the robots. So we're able to use a lot of that data to help us better market and better engage with our customers. And that's using everything simple from using cats' names, birthdays, cat activity in our marketing. And so managing our CRM side, you know, I'm able to use that information into our SMS, email, mobile push campaigns for promoting our consumables in the app. And right now, our Whisker app is driving about 40% of all new subscription signups. And so that's something that's happening more passively in the app. And so we're finding more and more ways where we can use that data to help engage. And then additionally, you know, we're taking in all this robot level data of understanding when someone's litter is getting low in their robots or when their waste bin's getting full. And that gives us an opportunity to promote our consumables tied to that, such as our Great Litter product or our liners and other types of consumables that go with the robot. And then additionally, with our new Whisker Plus digital service plan that's outside of our consumables, you know, we're using AI intelligence to visually identify cats' faces using our robots with our pro models of our new Litter Robot 5, and also identifying and providing analytics on cats going number 1 or number 2. And so we get these really cool engagement moments where people are identify potential health issues or things that are changing in their cat's habits that can really make them feel closer to their pet. And naturally, we just see people purchase after engaging with that type of content. So, without even really having to sell, it becomes a really great passive way. And having all that data definitely benefits us more than a lot of other brands might have access to.
Yeah, the great information, great content there. As a cat dad myself, I certainly appeal the whole personalization side of things and the health side of things. They're not a pet; they're a member of our family, so it really
Yeah.
does make a lot of sense. Tell me, what's the best experiment that you've ever run that actually worked with Whisker?
Yeah, we've had a few really good ones lately. One we just recently ran was hiding our buy once option on our consumable pages. So we've always had kind of a buy once toggle where people could easily buy any of our consumables once. We decided we wanted to test that and hide the option. We still made it available through a few extra clicks for people that were emphatically wanting to only buy once.
Hmm.
We just required a couple clicks there. What we found is that even in hiding buy once, we saw absolutely no decline in consumable sales, hiding that option, which was one key thing for us. But additionally, we saw a 42% increase in new subscription signups to our consumables once we made
Nice.
that change. So it was a really impactful shift for us that is really just paying dividends for us as we've fully rolled it out to 100% of our audiences as of today.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent results as well. Are you testing anything right now that you might be able to give us maybe an update on when we see you at SubSummit?
Yeah, we've got a few different tests going on right now. We're currently testing. We've got a site-wide offer of 35% off your first order on our consumables. We're testing 50% off of our Great Litter product for the first order someone makes. I'm always a little hesitant of giving too high of an offer, as that can sometimes lead to higher churn and lower LTV of people that might just be trying to grab an offer offhand. So far, we're seeing about a 60% or 66% lift in net new subscriptions. So it's looking really healthy. We're still very early in, and I want to see what is that long-term churn. So over the next month to a couple of months, we'll should have a very clear picture if that's actually moving the needle for us or if we're potentially shooting ourselves in the foot and giving too much of a discount.
Understood. Understood. Let's talk for just a second. If we head over to SubSummit, talk for about your session upcoming at SubSummit. And the title of the session is the feedback loop: how community, CX, and data drive retention and growth. And I know it's a session. I believe it's on day one. So maybe just spend a moment talking about that session.
Yeah, I mean, I think, from the community aspect of it, we have a very engaged community. Specifically, we have a very engaged Reddit community, which has
Mm.
been really helpful in kind of understanding, opportunities with our product, the things that our customers really want to see, or potential pain points that we're able to address. So that's one really great source in which we're able to use community to help drive things for us. And then similar on the CX side, I think we get a lot of information from our CX. It's, I'm regularly meeting with their team at Whisker to figure out ways in which we can improve the service or find out that, maybe certain things within our subscription program has caused problems for our end users. And so we really try and take all of that feedback when we're thinking about how we can continue to improve everything from what people are seeing when they're first purchasing, but also what are they seeing when they're managing it on a daily, monthly basis within our platforms. And now that we've got kind of two subscription programs running between consumables and our digital service, as well as a third one that'll be coming later this year, there's a lot to manage and take in from the community and from our CX teams.
Great information. So let's talk about after the summit is over. What's one idea that you hope after your session or the sub summit in general? What's one idea that you hope people think about differently when it comes to their business?
I think from the subscription side, it's not something you should set it and forget it. I think a lot of people may do it. When I first joined Whisker, I came on as a CRM manager, quickly asked to take over our consumable subscription program as I had some subscription experience at previous companies I worked with. But at that time, the program, it was basically forgotten about at Whisker. Our dev team had set up a tool and the ability for Whisker to sell subscriptions with, very minimal reporting, and that was
Mhm.
about it. But when I came on board, our monthly churn rates were about 12% a month. Very little had been done to promote our subscriptions on the site or really improve that experience. But then over the last 3 years, we completely overhauled our subscription management system for our customers, as well as our subscription marketing. And in that time, we cut our churn rates in half. We increased our monthly signups by 4x, and we increased our monthly recurring revenue by 350%. And so while you can definitely set a subscription program up and forget about it and it'll, make some money, you're leaving so much on the table if you're not constantly testing and optimizing your program. I think we're all battling that eventual plateau that you could run into subscriptions of, eventually your growth catches up to your churn and you reach this stasis. And so it's just a constant battle of testing and optimizing to keep it going. And so I would say that's the one thing, is just don't forget about it. It's something that you have to continue working on.
Excellent. Maybe the title of this episode should be "Don't Set It and Forget It." That could possibly be it. So, Mike, if someone wants to grow a subscription or membership business in 2026, why should they be at SubSummit in Kansas City this coming May?
Yeah, from the SubSummit conferences I've been to in the past, I've always garnered a lot from hearing from the speakers and from different companies about their successes as well as their shortcomings. And, from that, I've been able to gather a lot of ideas that have helped inform some of the different testing that we've been doing. And additionally, I think it's a great way to meet others in kind of this very niche but growing space, as well as, really learn about new vendors and opportunities out there that, might help solve problems that you're facing today in your program. And so that's what I've really gotten out of coming to SubSummit. And then additionally, you get to meet me if you come.
Nice. Well, Mike, we certainly appreciate your expertise and your wisdom that you're bringing to the show today, and excited to see you over at SubSummit. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Appreciate the time.
If you're serious about the future of recurring revenue, join the industry at SubSummit, because the real conversations happen at the crossroads. For more information about SubSummit, including dates, agenda, and important links, check the show notes today. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to the SubSummit podcast. If you want to be in the room with the operators building the next era of subscription and commerce, head to subsummit.com and grab your pass now. Make sure to follow the SubSummit podcast so you don't miss upcoming interviews with the founders, brands, and partners shaping the industry. We'll see you at the crossroads.